in communication, there are different models that can be used to really reflect the relationships that are between different people, and they're helpful in being able to understand um, really the depth that some can go, and how like there's the differences in the way that people are able to disclose themselves to one another. And so the accurate ways of doing that, there's one where it is the social penetration method, and that really reflects the peeling back of an onion. And so it actually looks like an onion with a little bit of a circle drawing here. Um, and so with that, it just shows that there are the different key points of communication, the different aspects, the different parts that go into a conversation, um, and really how far they span across the circumference of the circle. And then the closer they are, the more they take up within the circle. As they get closer to the dot right here, the center of it, that really shows how like far they've been peeled back in the onion, how close that you're really letting these aspects of the conversation get to you in the communication. And that way you're able to disclose yourself, um, your really true identity to other people. And so this can actually differentiate between different, depending on who it is you're having the conversation with. For me personally, for my example that I was able to reflect on, it's between um, me and my dad, and me and one of my classmates, who is also one of my friends. And so for this model, I showed basically the model that is present to describing the social penetration model, where really for a lot of the part, can't really read it, but I'm sorry for the X's on my hands, but the references and jokes. So with me and my dad, a lot of our conversations really, and the times that we communicate, really do take up a lot of jokes that we make in references to things that we spend time watching together, or inside jokes that we have. But as you can see, they don't really go that far in towards a circle, because these are just surface level like little jokes that we like to make. Then we have academic life and progress is not very strong. Well, doesn't have very much breadth going around, just because we don't really talk about my academic performance and progress that much, and really that's just with me because it's more of like my own independent education, and so I focus on that more. And then it also just doesn't really go that deep in. But then there's family connections, and that has a lot of doesn't it takes up a little bit, but it really does go has a lot of depth to it, because that really is something that we built our relationship off of. What we're willing to disclose with one another is just the family connection, since we have that in common and we're able to use that. We have friends and social life. Normally, I don't really involve my social life that much with my dad, and he doesn't really involve his social life that much with me. But occasionally, we'll discuss like our friends, what's going on, and our social life, and all those other stuff that we kind of discuss. And so, and there's also work and daily activities, and so that is kind of like it kind of takes up a little bit, just because that's something that we kind of build off of our relationship with. We discuss like, oh hey, I got how was your day? So basically, that's an opener for work and daily activities, things that we normally talk about, just to get a little summarization of the day. And then lastly, up here is religion, which is actually kind of a big part. It goes fairly deep into the onion, the circle of the model, just because that's our kind of true. That's something that we both have a lot of value in, and even though we don't talk about it very much, when we do talk about it, we're able to disclose a lot about it. Then on the other side, I have my friends, or my classmate and I. And right here, you can see that the academic life in progress really takes up a lot, just because that's a similar setting and scenario that we could deal with, in which it takes up a lot of time, takes up a lot of our conversation. We talk about our classes and how we're doing in our classes over the semester, and then friends and social life has a little bit right there, but it does go deeper than academic life, just because we have a little bit more attention and care a little bit more about it when we're talking about similar friends that we have, or what's going on in your social life, and they'll be able to understand. So it goes a little bit more deeper. Then we have family connections. Not normally do we talk about our family, so it's a little bit smaller, and it doesn't really go that far, because when you're talking with your friends about your family, you don't really disclose that much. jokes and references because close friendships do kind of use those kind of jokes. But again, they don't really go too far because there's not much to disclose with them, or I personally don't really disclose that much with them. And then working and daily activities, it doesn't go that deep. Like if you ask someone, "Hey, how are you doing today?" They'll say, "Oh, okay, I'm fine." That's the normal rundown that someone will give. That's a normal response that somebody will normally give you. Um, but then there's religion where it's actually kind of small. But me personally, I know that when I talk about religion with my friends, sometimes they do seem very passionate about it. And so that will sometimes actually have a lot of depth to it. And that's probably the area when I get the most depth because to some people it does seem to be a very big value. And so for this example, I'll just use right here candy, little dots. But this really reflects me, the red one. And then, oops, I grabbed the wrong run. But the red one really reflects me. This one, the pink one, reflects my friends. This one, the orange one, reflects my dad. So we have this similar, in the models, we have the similar aspects in the conversation that we talk about. However, even though they all have red in them, the aspects of the conversation, they still show up differently because just like the different depths and breadth of them, just because, and they are displayed differently just because, we have different kind of relationships and different amounts that we're able to disclose. The other model that was shown was oops, sorry, 1 second. The Johara window model, which really just shows what we kind of show to other people, what we display, and what we talk about in a conversation. So for this example, I'll use really just a part in my life when I was working at a ice cream store. And so this reflects the kind of disclosure between a customer and employee, kind of a smaller, simpler example. But for this, I also use candy. We have the darker colors, which are this kind of reddish one and this greenish one, and the darker colors reflect what they know, and the lighter colors, these ones, which were on the bottom of the model, reflect what they don't know. And so another way of showing it is the colors that have red in them, that are built off of from red colors. Those reflect what I know. And so that means that these ones, the ones that have yellow in them, reflect what I don't know. And so when you put them together, it kind of has this little model together that shows really just the different areas of the model. There's the open one, which both I and the person I'm communicating with know. And so this guy right here really just displays the kind of the open area. And so in this example, that would be what they want for ice cream. They communicate that to me. They let me know what kind of ice cream they want. And so in the communication, they're able to disclose the information of what they want from the order. And so that's really as far as it goes that we both know, since they're able to actually tell me. And so right here, this is what I know, what we both know as what they want for the ice cream. So right here is what I don't know. What I don't know, but they do know, is their expectations for the ice cream. Say they went to an ice cream store before and it had really excellent ice cream, and so they're expecting that's what this ice cream will look like now. And so it is up to me, even this means that I'm going to be blinded by it because I don't know what they see, but they are able to see it. And so that's something that normally leads to customer issues with different store locations and everything, because sometimes the employee doesn't exactly know what's being asked from them. They don't know what they specifically want. Yet here we go. We got the blind area in which they have their expectations for the product, and sometimes it doesn't deliver. So I need to make sure and hope that my quality of ice cream is going to be as close to the quality that they expect. Right down here, we have the one that they don't know, but I do know, and that's hidden, the hidden area. And so the hidden area reflects really me going behind into the kitchen where they can't see it, thus the hidden, the use of the word hidden. They don't know how I make the ice cream, what ingredients go into it. I could tell them, but they don't know the process that I'm going to be doing it in, the order, And so that's kept from them, and they don't see that. And then the unknown is what ice creams we actually might like. We might both like. There's a chance that we might both like the same ice cream flavor. There's a chance that we like ice cream flavors that we haven't tried yet. And so we don't know these ice cream flavors of which we might both like, which we might both not like, but we haven't tried them yet. And so they're unknown to both of us. And so when you put that all together, that just really shows the window model in which there's different ways of disclosing information, whether it's open, blind, hidden, or unknown. So yeah, thank you.